This site has been sold 3 separate times since it was built. It's had 6 separate operations and management companies to look after a new one every year. So we've kind of lost our contact with the people that own it and the people that are managing it. I historically had mowed and herbicided this site over the last 6 years, but this year I did not get the contract to do it, so therefore we cannot get in. But what's interesting about this particular site, and y'all have seen these solar panels before, this site is the very first one in the state of Georgia. It was built right here. This is the very first one. This is what started it all right here, this site. It's 20 megawatts, and you see smoke over there. They're fixing to double the size of, actually this is 20 megawatts. They're fixing to add 57 and a half more megawatts, 600 more acres on the north side of this site of solar panels. But that'll be a different owner and a different deal altogether. But you young people, y'all have been seeing these solar panels around. Professor Saha and I, we didn't see any up until about 7 or 8 years ago. There were really none in the state of Georgia. It kind of started out in California, and it's basically it's a layer of silicon, polycrystalline silicon, in between 2 layers of impact-resistant glass that catches sunlight, and when sunlight hits silicon, it creates an electrical charge. They discovered how to capture that electrical charge by hooking them in sequence and then running them through inverters to build up the power, and then they take that electricity and put it right on the power lines that we use today. This site is 20 megawatts. It's about 122 acres of actual panels. There's 72,000 panels out there. And this site right here produces enough electricity for 6,000 homes. Think about that. That's about 20,000 people get electricity every day from this site right here. That'll run enough electricity for about 20,000 people. It produces a lot of electricity. There are a number of sites around Albany where you live. They're putting in a 1,000-acre installation out there at the Marine base. Y'all may be familiar with it on Fleming Road out there. It's going to be enough to produce. It'd probably be 100 megawatts. Be enough for, good gosh, 300 houses per megawatt. So you're talking about 30,000 homes. Good enough for 100,000 people. It'd be a bunch. So it's what's interesting about this, you're going to see more and more of it. Let me tell you why. When this installation was built, each megawatt, which there's 20 megawatts, that's the way they measure the size of it out here. Each megawatt cost about $2.2 million to manufacture and install. Since then, in 2012, when this installation was built, the price for solar panels has dropped to about 20% of what it cost then. In other words, if it cost $5 then, it costs $1 now. So the price of these installations has come way, way, way down to build them, and they're very cost effective. These products can produce electricity cheaper than Georgia Power can produce it themselves. And this is what you call peak power. I don't know if you've studied that, but Professor Saha may tell you there's different types of electricity. It's all the same, but they market it differently. Peak power is at the time of the day when most people use electricity, from like 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, when most electricity is used, and that's the most expensive electricity you use during the day, because they charge you more for it versus at night. But this produces peak power. It's very expensive